You're gonna lose brain cells, probably. You're gonna probably lose brain cells. You're gonna probably lose brain cells. At first, I thought it was a joke. When Cheddar Clips told me that. Now, no more. Feminist says you're sexist for not choosing Chikorita in Pokemon. The Mersu has a meltdown. Barbara Dark. First of all, person that wrote this article, Chikorita is 87.5% male. And then 12.5% female. That means you can't be sexist because you don't choose Chikorita, except you want to say that you're sexist to men. So that your plan does not work. This is silly. I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
It is always hilarious to see people melting down over the smallest things possible that are posted on the internet, and right now the target seems to be Pokemon, because yes guys, apparently you are—
What do you mean who's picking Chikorita? The Pokemon fandom sexism is showing and I'm still picking my girl in Legends of ZA. That means, if it actually is a girl, with that 12.5%. You gotta be straight up, I'm gonna say it, you gotta be straight up retarded. Like, this person that wrote this article, you are not playing Pokemon. Because otherwise you wouldn't know this. This is probably the first time you ever touched a Pokemon game.
sexist if you don't pick Chikorita. I have a few different things to show off, but before I—
Yes! Nobody's picking Chikorita. Meganium has the worst base stat total of all starters. Nobody's picking that thing. I mean, some people picking it. I mean, Bayleaf is pretty based. I have to say. Pretty based. But Chikorita is cooked. It does have the highest base stat total of all starters, funnily enough. Like, base first stage. But it does not have... It is the worst starter by far. I'm the Tepic gang.
Get into the topic. If you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, you would think, wow, Pokemon, everybody loves the franchise, it's so cute and fun and wholesome, but no, 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 if you don't pick the right starter, apparently you are sexist, and if you criticize this starter, you're sexist. So this comes from none other than the Mary Sue, a raging feminist outlet. What do you mean, who's picking Chikorita? The Pokemon—
Dude, it's an animal. It's an animal, first of all. It's a virtual animal, first of all. Second of all, it's like a... Yeah, it's a plant sauropod thingy. Like, what are you talking about? And you are a crime against humanity if you didn't pick Totodile? I like my boy Totodile. I'm still picking Tepic, because Tepic is great. I love Emboar, especially a shiny is great.
Pokemon fandom sexism is showing, and I'm still picking my girl in Legend Z to A. It's just so funny how ridiculous they truly sound here. In light of Pokemon Day 2025, I was thrilled to see Chikorita revealed as one of the returning starters in Pokemon Legends Z to A. Then I remembered people hate this Pokemon, like to the point of crashing out on the internet. One user on TikTok asked literally, who's picking Chikorita? And this is something I have asked myself before. I understand you like—
True. At the end of the day, it comes down to, because like all starters are not hyper popular. I mean, Totodile is, but not everybody's like running around like, oh, Totodile. Like, they're all pretty equal in my opinion. At the end, it comes down to the popularity will change based on what Mega Evolution they're gonna get. Hands down, jokes. You don't pick any Gen 2 Gen 2. I don't pick a Gen 2 start. I won't pick a Gen 2 starter. I will pick Tepic. My girl, who's a guy, 87.5% of the time.
like this certain type of creature. That's fine if you have love and nostalgia for Chikorita because you're one in a million people who actually chose this one. But to go and have a meltdown and call people sexist for making fun of a fictional creature is just so funny to me. I genuinely don't know how anyone in their right mind—
Hold up! Go back! Go back!
creature is just so—
Still further back. I want to show you
a
something.
fictional creature is just—
This guy's really funny, by the way. This guy with the hat. I like his videos on TikTok. They're pretty funny. Forgot his name, but he's pretty funny.
so funny to me. I genuinely don't know how anyone in their right mind could see Totodile and Cyndaquil and say, you know what, I'm choosing Chikorita. That just—
The only reason Cyndaquil is not a starter is because of the Typhlosion incident. I'm just joking, but regardless. the incident.
sounds insane, but then again, so is this article. Not even the possibility of Mega Evolution.
This bitch wrote a whole article on this! Ugh. This bitch wrote a whole article. What? I know that guy from YouTube. Yeah, he's funny. Don't speak of the incident. The Typhlosion incident.
Evolution or a new regional evolution is enough to stop the Chikorita hate. Yeah, guys, stop being bigots. Stop criticizing this fictional creature. Since it was introduced back in the Gen 2 titles Gold and Silver and became a member of Ash's team in the anime, Chikorita and her iconic leaf ponytail—
Yeah, because Chikorita and Bayleaf were actually pretty cool in the anime. They are not in the game. Like, great. Like, nobody cares. The harsh truth is that Chikorita is just a bad Pokemon. Especially in Johto, where the first gym literally is flying type. You pick the worst starter here. And then the second is bug. What?
have been the subjects of criticism and bad faith debates held to the same double standards as the girls and LGBTQIA+ fans who've stuck by her side all of these years.
What? I guess Chikorita is officially a proud member of the LGBTQIA+ community now. What? Huh? Where's the connection? Where's the connection? Where's the connection? I don't get it! This is this has to be rage bait. This has to be trolling. This has to be rage bait. This cannot not be rage bait. This is rage bait. This has to be rage bait. There's no way.
Your gender and your sexuality and your identity don't make you a better fan than somebody else. And what is so hilarious to me is these are the types of people who constantly say, your sexuality doesn't define you, your gender shouldn't be used against you, yet they constantly use it as a shield in discussion.
With a Pokemon that is mostly male, I have to repeat. Mostly male. It's not her. It's 87.5% of the time him. Wait. This person has not touched a Pokemon game ever. She just needed something for an article somehow. The connection is that she made it the fuck up. Okay. Senator Armstrong. Source: I made it the fuck up.
like this. Surprise, surprise, people still hate Chikorita in 2025.
Because it's ass. It's horrible. It doesn't have a... It's pretty, hence it must be female. Yeah. Yeah. What? It is just a bad Pokemon!
Yeah, because it's just a bad Pokemon. And it's funny to me how they specify in this that, like, Chikorita is a female and Chikorita's always been a female, when that really isn't the case. Because if you look at kind of the gender differences when it comes to the starters and, like, how rare it is to actually get a female starter, as you can see.
This, by the way, goes for all Johto starters. Here you have it in stats. Here you have it in stats. You have it quite literally here in stats.
Chikorita has the same percentage to be a male as the others. So most of the Chikorita, at least this is in Soul Silver, are males. It's rare to actually get a female. So the majority of the time, Chikorita's a guy. Who's gonna tell these buffoons? If it's not a complaint about Chikorita's girly or lackluster appearance, it's about her average stats and poor performance in her native region. How dare these defend—
Oh no, it's a bad Pokemon! How dare they? Like, yes, that's why nobody likes it! It's also not just specifically Chikorita, it's also Meganium is horrendous in comparison to every other starter, because it's quite literally has the worst base stats out of all final starters. Like, huh?
Developers make a female creature that isn't as strong as her male counterparts. We need to cancel them. This is why there are so many jokes about women in the gaming industry and women ruining the gaming industry. Now, obviously, I don't believe that, and I know most of you don't believe that. It's just kind of a joke at this point in time, but this is why this joke exists, because you are a female who is constantly complaining about how females in video games are not as strong as their male counterparts, or there's not enough of them, and there's not enough representation for women, which is just crazy to think about, because it's just so totally and completely inaccurate. Funny, considering its final evolution is comparable to fan favorites. That's fine. But that doesn't mean we still have to like it as much as Totodile or Cyndaquil.
Funny, considering its final evolution, Meganium is comparable to fan favorites like the Kalos fossil Pokemon Aurorus. Aurorus has this terrible type combination with ice and rock. By the way, you don't really see this thing either. Ash got lucky. I think his was female, unless I'm misremembering. I have no idea anymore. It's been a while since I watched the Johto series. It is also the least interesting flower Pokemon. Yeah, the most interesting thing is that its design changed from 5 petals to 6 petals. Wow.
While design and stat preferences are subjective, what's especially silly about furthering this narrative is that the thinly veiled misogyny that's always
Useless Charizard. If we're strictly talking home games, just about as useful as Charizard, we're strictly talking home games. Meanwhile, Charizard remains not only one of the most beloved Pokemon of all time, but also revered for its apparent strength, given not one but 2 Mega Forms, both of which are making a comeback in Legends ZA. Unsurprisingly, the Chikorita train passes on. Bitch, are you stupid? What? Okay, Charizard, first of all, is just straight up a better Pokemon. And it's gonna be, with the Mega Evolutions, it's gonna be even better. It's not just, it's not just about, also fan favorite, like the Kalos Pokemon Aurorus. I hear nobody, I hear nobody talking about Aurorus. Nobody, not even a single person. No fuck in the world is talking about Auroras. Like, fan favorite? Who's fan favorite? Are you projecting? Charizard is a fan favorite. First of all, it got 2 Mega Evolutions. It's got a great shiny. It's got a great design. It has badass anime moments. It's still somewhat good. It's just still somewhat useful, even if it's not a Mega. Meganium is not that. Like, what are these people talking about for real?
Always surrounded, the Chikorita line likely won't hold very much weight soon. Yeah, guys, if you've criticized this fictional creature, your time is up.
Well, design and stat preferences are subjective. They are not subjective. Stat preferences are not subjective. If a Pokemon has bad stats, it has bad stats. Like, these are numbers. Here, numbers are not subjective. If it is outclassed by other Pokemon, it is outclassed by other Pokemon. What? Also, thinly veiled misogyny that's always surrounded Chikorita line. No, just nobody likes the Pokemon. What is this?
With the next Legends title in the works, we can safely assume we'll see each returning starter receive a new form, whether a regional final evolutionary form or mega evolution. Either way, stat boosts and design touch-ups are all but guaranteed, answering big complaints. In the meantime, singling out Chikorita and bashing its stats feels needlessly hateful and honestly pretty sexist and homophobic. To those
What? Okay. Not picking Chikorita is sexist to women, but it's also homophobic. What? What? Huh? What? Or do you forget about the most popular feminine-looking Pokemon, Gardevoir? Or Lopunny? I mean, Vaporeon also falls into that category. Probably a lot. Salazzle. Salazzle.
asking who's planning on picking Chikorita, I am, and I'm tired of
I am. You're alone with that. Nobody is. And I'm picking it now on purpose.
debating one of my favorite starters viability. Guys, this has to be top tier trolling material. I genuinely thought when I was sent that headline that it was fake, but it's not. That's the worst thing about this, is that the Mary Sue has posted articles like this for years, and they are being 100% serious, saying that it is racist and homophobic and misogynist and sexist to not choose the Pokemon starter that they like, or the Pokemon starter that they've deemed a woman, when again, it's actually...
Once again, I do not believe that this person has ever played a Pokemon game. Ever. Not even once. I do not believe so. So, I feel like this is just rage bait at this point.
not like 95% chance to be a female. And I had actually posted this over on my ex, and people are brutally mocking the Mary Sue now. Savvy said, it's people like that who need to be told no, just repeatedly told no. Anything they ask, even if it's how your day, just tell them no. I've always liked Chikorita, but to be sexist for not? WTF, I seriously don't get.
True. True, the sexist, I can somewhat understand, but homophobic, I cannot understand the sexist because numbers-wise it doesn't make sense. Machamp for some people. True, Machamp for some people. And the moves are terrible. The moves are terrible as well. The stats are terrible, moves are terrible. It is decently bulky, but it's not gonna win any competitions. What the fuck is even going on?
get what's going on. Except Chikorita can also be a boy just like every other Pokemon unless they do updates to it. Chikorita is one of the weaker grass type starters. This is 100% true. You could never compare Chikorita and Bulbasaur. I might not almost ever choose Bulbasaur, but you could not compare those two. Clearly, there's a winner. I'm still picking my girl. Chikorita's 75% male, just like all the other starters. Chikorita's my favorite starter. Are they implying that only women like Chikorita? I guess so. Sorry, Totodile is the only option I see. See, I always go Cyndaquil, I always go the Fires, but on the flip side, I
Wait,
can
there was a
understand the
meme.
Totodile.
There was a meme. Go back. That has me curious. the the person you would call you sexist if you went up to a group and said hi to your friend first before her, probably. Frostless, Nidoqueen, Kangaskhan, fucking Latias is female and loved. It is just, they're making their own enemies up in their head.
Chikorita, I guess so. Sorry, Totodile is the only option I see. See, I always go Cyndaquil, I always go the Fires.
Grass types being unpopular status since Gen 1. Feminists. Is this sexist? True and real. True and real. It's not like Bulbasaur where it has some use. Like, first of all, in Gen 1, if you picked Bulbasaur, you picked easy mode, because Bulbasaur has, until the Psychic type gym, Bulbasaur has no issues whatsoever. Like, Venusaur beats that game's ass.
But on the flip side, I can understand the Totodile hype. I always pick fire type. Yep, that's me. Oh no, what is actually wrong with these people? Chikorita can also be male. WTF. Rule number 1 for game journalists, never try to tell gamers what to do. So yes, guys, apparently you're terrible.
And once again, the saying is true. Game journalists are the lowest of the lowest. They're so low they are insulting the bottom. Most of the time, I think there might be some reasonable gaming journalists out there.
Person for not picking the starter that these people prefer. I will be keeping my eye on this to see if they do any sort of a follow-up article. It seems like bait truly and genuinely, but at the same time, it is on the Mary Sue, and that is genuinely how these raging feminists think. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts.
My thoughts are, whoever wrote this, I'd recommend therapy. Though then the therapist might need therapy themselves. Who knows? At this point, it's over. Like, you can't make this up. This has to be rage bait. This has to be rage bait.